Think back to the last time you went to a restaurant. Some of you watching right now ordered food to go. Others sat down to talk to a friend, talking about how you wish you were in bed or the latest gossip. I don't know. I've lost track of what's in the news. There's too much stuff going on left and right. When one thing happens, another thing. Okay, we're derailing. Eventually, the bill in either scenario does come. Do you tip or not tip? So that is today's discussion in this series of ACIRL, Animal Crossing in Real Life. Today's topic is tipping. Is it getting out of hand? Like when you go to a non-restaurant, do you actually tip? Some of you are saying, maybe it depends on the scenario. Some of you say, all the time. And other users are saying, I am broke. Leave me alone with this tipping. I already can't afford to pay the bill, or this it is. No, just me. Okay. From your morning coffee to your food delivery, it seems like everywhere we go, we're prompted to leave a tip. And let's be real, sometimes it feels like we're being guilt tripped into tipping. With like digital payment systems, with credit cards, with the kiosks and everything, we're often prompted to tip even for services that traditionally don't require it. It's like, congratulations! You successfully swiped my credit card. Here's an extra $1 or $2. So when should you actually tip, and when is it okay to skip? Let's break it down. Tipping culture in the United States has a long history, dating back all the way to the late 19th century when wealthy Americans brought European customs back here. Originally, tipping was seen as a way to show appreciation for exceptional service. I'm emphasizing exceptional service. But over the years, it has evolved into an expected part of our many service transactions. On top of taxes, on top of so many other things. Let me emphasize this. This is predominantly an American problem. It seems other countries outside the #1 country in the planet, everyone else is paid a living wage. In America, you're expected to pay your staff a minimum amount of money per hour, with the exception of certain jobs, like being a waiter or waitress. You can get paid, I think, $2, $3 an hour instead, and tips supposed to supplement that. Nowadays, tipping percentages have steadily increased. What used to be 10% has crept up to 15%, or even some states, 20% as the standard. And with digital payment systems, we're often prompted to tip even for services that traditionally didn't require it. I mean, the next thing you know, we'll be tipping our smart fridges just to keep our milk cold. Everyone watching, you know for a fact that's about to come in. Like GE and every other company is gonna be like, you bought our fridge, we need you to tip. For the engineers, wink wink. Can I even wink? Oh, that's close enough. Okay then, let's talk about when you should definitely tip. Here are some common situations where tipping is considered a must. Restaurants. If you're dining in and being served, 15 to 20% is the standard. Same thing applies to bars. It's usually though $1 to $2 per drink, or 15 to 20% of the tab. Hairdressers and barbers, same 15 to 20. And then for taxis and ride shares, it is supposed to be 10 to 15%. And then hotel staff, the bellhops get $1 or $2 per bag. And then housekeeping get roughly $2 to $5 per night. These are just a few examples. The key takeaway, you have to tip for personal services where workers heavily rely on the tips. And remember, if your bartender remembers your name and your favorite drink, they definitely earned that tip. I mean, it's cheaper than therapy, is it not? And what about the situations where you're not sure if tipping is necessary? Here are some examples where tipping is optional and not expected. Fast food and takeout. If you're picking up your order, tipping isn't necessary. It's a nice thing if you do. For my local restaurants, I do tip them from time to time when I'm picking up. Self-service restaurants, places like buffets or cafes where you're serving yourself, generally does not require tipping. And then retail stores. Tipping isn't expected for store clerks or retail workers. But if you do, cool, they'll appreciate it. Just one thing to note. Service fees. For those that are traveling to America, just a heads up. Especially at sit-down restaurants where you are expected to tip. Sometimes they include something called a gratuity fee or service charge. That means your tip's already there in the bill and you don't have to add on. Unless you feel like tipping them extra money. If you have generous pockets, why not? But for the majority of us, it's already there. Save yourself some money. You already tipped the waiter or waitress. Despite all the tip requests being flashed in your face, it's important to remember that tipping is about rewarding good service, not a mandatory fee. Think about it this way. If you went to the Roost, aka sketchy Starbucks, for a drink to go, do you have to tip Rooster? Even if you poured the magical pigeon milk in your drink? There's a lot of debate about tipping culture. Some argue that tipping should be abolished in favor of higher wages for service workers. Others believe it incentivizes better service. Whatever your stance, it's clear that tipping isn't going away anytime soon, at least in America. Until then, I'm just waiting for the day my doctor hands me a prescription and says gratuity not included. At the end of the day, tipping should be about showing appreciation for great service, not feeling pressured to add extra to every transaction. And if you're like broke like me, cut down going out. Try to do something at home. What can go wrong? I mean, I never almost burnt down my kitchen. So let me know down in the comments, what do you tip and what do you not tip at all? And what you might or might not tip depending on the customer service. All right, y'all. Thank you all so much. Catch you next time for the next ACRL. And don't forget, you can also tip your streamers and content creators. Wink, wink, Ko-Fi's link in the bottom. Even $1. No one's gonna tip me $1. YouTube's free. Just watch the video and watch the ads, y'all. Thank you. Take care. Bye.